That was 27th November 2017, Nagarkurnool district, Telangana state. A shocking crime unfolds that not only shook the Nagarkurnool district but the entire state of Telangana. A 27-year-old woman named Swathi, who is working as a trained nurse in a private hospital, calls her family in a state of panic, informing that her husband, 32-year-old Sudhakar, has been attacked by four unidentified persons and his face has been burnt using kerosene or petrol, and he has been admitted to the hospital in a critical condition. Upon hearing this terrifying news, the family of Sudhakar rushes towards the hospital. However, the family who rushed towards the hospital did not know the person who has been attacked, the person whose face has been burnt, the person who is admitted in the hospital and who is in the bed was not Swathi's husband Sudhakar. Guys, if you like thrilling crimes, dark stories, horror stories, real life horrors, or paranormal, kindly subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon for regular updates. Guys, the story what you are about to going to hear is one of the most disturbing crime cases in history of Telangana. The planning, the execution, the twist is way beyond the imagination. Swathi, who was married to Sudhakar, a small businessman, lived happily in Nagarkurnool district. They had two children together, they had a small middle class life running, and they were happily settled as well. And up until Swathi developed a friendship at her workplace, which started as a friendship with 24-year-old Rajesh, later turned into love, and later on it turned into extramarital affair. They were so intense and they were so involved together, they started to speak in phone at least 5 to 6 times a day. And Rajesh used to visit Swathi's home in absence of Sudhakar. This went beyond for long term, long they were maintaining this extramarital affair until Rajesh and Swathi decided to get married. But there was a huge problem. Swathi was already married and had two children. Swathi's mindset was so bizarre that she was ready to leave Sudhakar but not her children. So, to carry out this plan, Swathi made a bizarre decision of eliminating Sudhakar, that is killing Sudhakar, and later happily getting married to Rajesh and living peacefully alongside her children. On 26th of November 2017, Sudhakar came to his home, unaware that the home had become the trap for his life. As in, Swathi and Rajesh had already executed that plan, saying that Rajesh would hide in Sudhakar's home, waiting for the right moment to strike on his head with a hammer. When the right time came, Rajesh did hit Sudhakar, but the impact was so low. Sudhakar became unconscious, but he did not die. Upon seeing this, Swathi sent Rajesh out of her home immediately and called her family friend, Mr. Arvind. Arvind, who arrived at Swathi's and Sudhakar's home after a couple of minutes, took Sudhakar to hospital. As in Swathi and Arvind, alongside Sudhakar, they went to hospital. When Sudhakar asked what had happened, Swathi explained that, saying he had slipped and fallen and hit his head, that's why he had become unconscious. Later, when Sudhakar and Arvind alongside Swathi came to house, Arvind left the home, but Swathi could not sleep because the plan of murder has been failed. So now she plans in a bizarre way that she calls up Rajesh, where Sudhakar is sleeping peacefully with his injury, that Rajesh to bring anesthesia. As Rajesh and Swathi both work in an hospital and they are in a medical field, they have easy access to certain drugs, and one of the drugs is anesthesia. On 27th November, early morning, Rajesh comes to Swathi's home alongside anesthesia. Sudhakar, who has not yet been recovered from the injury and the sleep, is lying on the bed. Swathi, who is a trained nurse, injects anesthesia to Sudhakar without his knowledge. When she gets the confirmation that Sudhakar is unconscious, she asks Rajesh to hit Sudhakar on his head. Hearing this, Rajesh uses a brute force and hits Sudhakar on his head, killing him instantly. Now, Rajesh and Swathi both wrap up the bedsheet alongside the blood stains of Sudhakar and puts in Sudhakar's own car dicky and drives to a no man's land in a forest area which is around 70 kilometers in a Mahbub Nagar district. And there he starts to burn Sudhakar's body. He burns the Sudhakar's body almost when there is nothing remaining other than the skeleton. When he gets the confirmation that everything is burnt, only the skeleton is remaining. He hides that skeletal remains in near side the bushes and return back. Now the plan has been executed, the murder has been done, Sudhakar is no more. But how to convince Rajesh as Sudhakar was the main plan. Here is Swathi's instincts working. Swathi wanted Rajesh to be portrayed as Sudhakar. For that, she asked Sudhakar to get his face burnt. How Swathi wanted to pour acid on Rajesh's face, only avoiding the eyes, so that she can get the plastic surgery done and portray Rajesh as Sudhakar and live happily and peacefully. As their plan, Swathi pours acid on Rajesh's face. Rajesh, being in deep love with Swathi, agrees to that particular condition and gets that acid poured on his face. Later, Swathi admits Rajesh to hospital and calls her family in kith and kin, informs that Sudhakar has been attacked and creates a drama saying that Rajesh is Sudhakar. Swathi and Rajesh's plan was going smooth up until God adds its own plan. Rajesh, who is acting as Sudhakar, could not recognize family relatives of Sudhakar. What he did, he stopped talking and turned his sign language to active. So now he's using his sign languages to communicate so that no one gets any kind of a suspicion. But seeing his behavior, the character and everything, already suspicions were raising, the alarm was going on. Mainly to Sudhakar's brother Surendra, who could identify that it's not his brother because of the behavior and everything. So it went for few days, but Surendra still in suspicion. One day offers a soup, a mutton soup, which is a non-veg soup. Rajesh being a vegetarian, ignores that particular soup and asks for the veg soup. This particular plot, this particular twist gave Surendra a big lead, saying that this was not his brother. It got the confirmation. On this particular confirmation of rejecting the soup, Surendra goes to the police and lodges a complaint saying that there is a suspicion, the person who is admitted to the hospital doesn't seem to my brother, to have a verification done. So police says to identify whether the person is Sudhakar or not, acid has been poured to his face. The face has been completely covered in bandage. So there is no way to identify a person by face. So what they plan is that to get the Aadhaar card, the Indian system of having an identification proof where the fingerprint has already been taken. Identity proof of Sudhakar has been taken, the fingerprints of the person lying on the bed has been taken, and the police matches both the fingerprints and later get to know that the person who is there is not Sudhakar, it's Rajesh. This concludes that person who is in the hospital is not Sudhakar. Using this evidence, the police takes Swathi on custody on December 10th, 2017. On custody, the police investigate Swathi. Swathi confesses everything, how her relationship started, how she planned and how she wanted to do a plastic surgery and portray Rajesh as Sudhakar. And then when police asked how did he plan, she got this plan from a movie. She got inspired by a movie to transplant the face or do a plastic surgery and portray as Sudhakar. This shocked the police itself. Later on December 14th, Rajesh was arrested. Rajesh was taken to the place of crime where he had burnt Sudhakar's body. Later they recovered the skeletal remains of Sudhakar as well as the syringe as well as the hammers and the weapons used to murder Sudhakar, and they were sent to jail. This particular case came to court. Swathi, using her children citing the children, she wanted a bail. The court grants the bail, but Swathi's family, kith and kin, no one comes over there to receive her. Instead, they themselves take care of the children and ask Swathi to go back. Upon seeing this, the court cancels the bail and Swathi goes back to custody. Rajesh was never granted the bail, and this case is still running and no verdict has been given by the court of law. Going forward, if any verdict has been issued by the court of law, I'll update on the same video. Even if the God forgives, karma does not forgive. This is the prime example for this case. If you like the video, kindly share it to your friends. Please press that like button slowly. That will be my motivation and inspiration. Until next video, this is Praveen from Praveen Instincts.